Hey everybody, welcome back to Ninja Buddy Crafting. Today we are going to be doing a review of Army Painter speed paint markers. We're going to see if these things are worth our time, effort, or money. And if I do the sloppiest job I possibly can, see if it looks good. Let's find out. So Army Painter recommends that you put shading on your miniature before you apply the speed paint markers. So what I did was go outside off camera and apply a black primer to it, and then just kind of gave it a quick couple blasts with the gray one, and then highlighted it with a white dry brushing. Though I will say this now in retrospect, I wish I had gone more aggressive with the white dry brushing. Now to prime these guys, you have to hold them into their tip as it instructs, and it does take a few minutes. It actually was sped up there. That took me about 2 minutes to get the tip actually filled with paint like they recommended. So keep that in mind. You do have to do some prep work there before you start up any of your minis with these things. You can't unbox them and just go to town. It doesn't seem to work quite well. Once I had that all set up, it was primed, and I've got the marker filled with its paint, I started applying the orc green to the snake skin of the Medusa here. Probably could have went with a less detailed mini, but I do like Reaper minis, so I really just wanted to see how these speed paint markers would work on this greater Medusa. And as I applied the green, I was really impressed. It was coming out very smooth. I do critique this. I wish that the paint coming out of this was a little thinner. But other than that, I'm enjoying how it applies, and it went on relatively quick. This process probably took me about 3 minutes to get the tail done. And then of course, I went on to her hair, which in retrospect, again, this was my first time ever using these speed paint markers. I should have went more heavy with the white dry brushing and probably put a black wash once more over it when I did that to really bring out all those subtle little changes in depth and shading. But it applied quickly. I like that. Now I chose Zealot Yellow for the belly of the serpent body, because I was hoping the darker parts would dry browner than yellower, and for the most part when I was applying it, it seems like it was giving it more of a brownish yellow. Once I had that all said and done, I pulled out the blood red marker, and since I'd been noticing that without the white, extreme white parts, everything was coming out more of the darker medium and darker tones that they show on the sides of the markers. So I decided I would put that onto a quiver and bow and give myself kind of that ox blood look for the leather and the wood of the bow. Now unfortunately I didn't have any speed paint markers that were skin colored, so to get the miniature up to snuff, I decided I'd hit some things by hand, and I used Vallejo Pale Skin there. Now this is a little trick I use for doing marble working, is just get yourself the brightest white you can. Titanium white happens to be my brightest white. Take a Q-tip, kind of give yourself a little like plucking there on it, just enough so that you can get a little bit of extra oomph, as you can see on mine, and dab it everywhere on the marble area. It gives you that nice speckling look and kind of that veiny, groovy look that marble has, especially if you apply a wash afterwards. In this case, I apply a 2-part sepia brown wash to 1 part black wash, and it gives you a nice dirty look. Okay, so for her eyes, I'm just going to apply a couple of dots using the toothpick here with some ultramarine blue. I know yellow or really neon green would be a good one since it's a Medusa, but I do like that blue look with the eyes. And of course, she is without a top, so I'm just going to take some rose skin color here. It's called Dark Rose, and I'm just going to apply that where, you know, her lady topper should be. Her nips. Trying not to get flat here. Now, since she's on a old marble pillar, I I am taking a brush here and just kind of swooping it along the ridged part of the pillar to highlight that white part, because the Q-tip couldn't get in there to do that like it could that top of base. Otherwise, I would have been putting white all over her, and I didn't want that. So as you can see here, I'm just applying a little bit of titanium white so that when I add a wash, the marble pillar will look aged and weathered. And as I said earlier, this is just the sloppiest job I could throw on, but so far, I'm not hating it. I could do better, but honestly, this is getting ready for the table pretty fast, and it's only been about an hour total, and that's letting paint dry. With everything said and done, I'm really liking the way the green turned out. This project to me is pretty nice and almost done. You just need to apply a few little touch-ups of some gold here to her necklace and armbands, and I'm rather impressed with what I've seen so far. I think the next time I use these speed paints, I'm going to apply a heavier white dry brushing, because I'm liking the way it applied and how quick the paints actually dried. I had to wait longer on my Vallejo skin paint to dry than the entire serpent body did. With all of the hand brushing I needed to do here done, I decided I'd finally add that 2-part sepia to 1-part black wash to my marble pillar here to help finish things off and give everything that weathered, ancient, ruined look to her. Well, around her, more than to her herself. And to be fair, I probably could have applied this wash onto her and it still would have looked great. But I left her as is because I was happy with the job the Army Painter speed paint markers had done thus far. And there we have it, guys. So my final thoughts on this are actually pretty good. I like the job. Let's see if I can get the camera focus in here a little better. Doesn't seem to want to. I like the job the green did on the snake body, because like you saw, I didn't really do anything except for the basic speed painting techniques, and I think the scales and belly came out really good. The body, that's kind of me thing there. I definitely could did a better job on the body, but the parts the speed paint marker hit, I really liked. And as always, I really like the marble working technique I put in. So guys, I gotta ask again, if you really appreciated this, you enjoyed my time telling you how these speed paint markers worked, can you do me a favor? Hit that like button, maybe share the video with your friends, and if you really enjoy what I'm doing and the sound of my voice, give me a subscribe and a follow. It really does help out my channel. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you. Get out there and craft something awesome.